Well, good evening, my Reds. Good evening. Actually, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are in the world, but definitely good evening to my Reds in the UK. Welcome back to Liverpool 12 Man Show. This is going to be the Reds roll call. You know how we do it. We always try to at least congregate together to kind of, wish each other well on our adventures out into the great wide open, and hopefully see our Reds through to a victory. Shout out to Red Armchair Supporter. Shout out to Lee Wizkid, of course, as well. Already saying hello in the chat. Appreciate the sign of support. We are going to be getting into some I don't want to say shenanigans today, but hopefully it could be some shenanigans at the Emirates. Kind of put something of a spoiler on their promenade to the title. Because tonight it's Arsenal versus Liverpool at the Emirates. Massive night, massive night, loaded. Definitely jam-packed night of highlights. I'm sure that will be certainly a narrative to speak on after the game. But because for the first time this season, Arne Slot has publicly drawn a line under something that has defined Liverpool for years, and that is the title race, and as his pretty much acceptance that is no longer within our reach. 14 points behind Arsenal, fourth in the table. We are unbeaten in 8, but not relentless in 8. Like, as in, we're not necessarily showing like someone that is a juggernaut power that we should be, actually, in my opinion. So it's going to be an interesting game that we're going to have coming forward. I guess that's the context that you can put with it. There's some emotional temperature being raised in this one, you would say. Big up Philip. Good to see you, my Red. Definitely, he's saying big up 12. I'd be ecstatic if we beat Arsenal, but to be honest, I don't think we will. In fact, he's predicting a 3-1 Arsenal win. Big up, Philip. I'm not necessarily right there with you. I'm right there with you, ecstatic if we win, but I'm trying to tempt the football gods and predict a 2-0. I'd like to see a 2-0 win. That's what my heart is saying. My head says maybe 2-1 if we're lucky. But we'll see. This isn't this. I don't want this to be a coronation chase anymore. I mean, like, it's kind of crazy. This is a survival run for us. It's a statement night, I believe, and maybe a turning point that we can finally wholeheartedly get behind when the chips are down and everything else, and we're pushing towards trying to get to solidify ourselves in this top 4 race, solidify ourselves a team that can produce some real results, produce some real, some real semblance of play on the pitch, because that's what we haven't been doing. So tonight we're going to break down Slot's comments and what they really mean, what Liverpool are and aren't right now. Obviously, I'm going to even give you a little bit of some trade or transfer news, which meaning the Marc Guehi saga and what losing that race says. I'm going to talk about Liverpool's quiet January rebuild. Live lineups will be, of course, with us in probably like 15-20 minutes, if that, and revised predictions once the teams drop. We'll have a little bit of that. You guys can always change your opinions. Maybe when you see the lineups that Arsenal will be going with and what lineup we'll be going with, maybe you'll change your opinion. But I'm going to start with what Slot had to say. Arne Slot didn't just manage expectations this week. He redefined our mission, and he said, quote, "The last thing we should talk about is the title race. Our first focus is top 4, top 5. in Champions League qualification. That's not tactical deflection. That's um, philosophical repositioning. Um, it is for a club that lived in title races for, I'd say, for the past decade. We've been involved in some way or another in the title race. Hearing a coach say this in January is tough to hear. It is very difficult to hear. Um, you look at the table, 14 points behind, Arsenal flying, Liverpool inconsistent. We're unbeaten in 8. I know I've said that before, and I'm not trying to say that as a badge of honor because we haven't been dominant in those games. We haven't been feared in those games. We haven't been suffocating in those games when it comes to our oppositions. So Slot admitted parts of the season have been so bad, but he also pushed back on the intensity narrative. He pushed back on saying our opponents are changing how they face Liverpool because of our level. He said Villa and Brighton were the best games because they played Liverpool, being that they didn't sit in a low block or sit with basically the wheels off the rig, you know. But what he really admitted is this: Liverpool right now are conditional. That we're good when the game is open, but we struggle when the game is compressed, when it's in that low block form, when it's something that we have to break teams down in. And that's a serious concern. It's not something that we haven't had issues with before. Every team is going to be tough to break down when they sit in a low block. However, we at least had some semblance of being able to find a key. And that was because we had players like Lucho or players that could really, really open up our opposition's defense and allow for us to try to impose ourselves upon it. It's the reason why some of us have been calling for Rio to get more minutes. But um, I don't have a panel, so I can ask you these questions, of course. And that was, I would ask you this: is Slot being honest in your opinion? Is he lowering the bar for this project to protect the players, or is he being honest in his own very, Dutch way of being honest with the narrative? Think about it. Think about what I just said that he said. I mean, some of you saw the interview, some of you saw his press conference. Um, some of you've been reacting to some of the articles that have been written, some of the players, basically admissions. Is he being honest? But as Red Armchair Supporter says, is he being arguably too honest? Because that can have an effect on the locker room. Your coach is talking about giving up on the title, and he's this and that, and how we're unable to break down blocks, and how he's talking about. Then one of the things that was surprising to hear is him say that a his teams are all about high intensity, high output, offense minded teams. Like as in, they're all about going offense first, offense, offense, offense. And I don't know if necessarily if we all agree on that right now from what we're seeing. He has the components. He has the components, and he doesn't want to put them through. That's a real issue. Big up bonkers, big up bonkers, big up, big up, big up. You can put the lineup in the chat if you'd like, and I'll just show it that way, or I can call it up myself actually as well. Let me get to go to my chat. Let me bring it up here. The lineup. Here is our lineup. I'll just show it this way, actually. And got Ibu on the front center cover of going to the Emirates. All right, this is whoops, I didn't mean to do that. I don't know why I just know what I did. Took myself out of the screen. I can't hit the wrong button. That's why. Sorry about that. Um, I'm going to add this to our discussion. So here's the lineup. I'll bring this up front and center. We got Ali, BVD, Kanate as our center half pairing. Kirkez on the left. Let's see, Bradley on the right. Verts, Dom, McAllister, Cody, Frimpong, and Gravenberg. You can obviously see the bench that we have. The bench is going to be Marmadashvili, Woodman, Gomez, Chiesa, Jones, Rabo, Leone, Ramsey, and Rio. So I am definitely over this coach with what some of his with his picking, bringing two goalkeepers on the bench. No Ekatike. No Ekatike. Ekatike, I saw a some posts saying that his fitness is not even near too close to being something that you would want to risk in this game. And also, I saw the fact that playing him could be a risk to further injury. And it would be, if you were to see him in the lineup, it would be the fact that we are, really, really against the wall when coming up with solutions. Um, but Chiesa did make the list. Yes, he did. Chiesa did make the list. Should be interesting to see where they place the players. Um, what he's going to do with um, what actually he's going to do with the whole where he's gonna rock and roll with these players, because I think basically I'll show this actually as well. I might as well. Let me bring this up. This is SofaScore. This is what SofaScore is looking. This is what they believe is going to be the format of our team, and I can agree with this. Again, Florian Wirtz is going to be out left. It looks like they're going to obviously go Cody as our striker. Um, how are you feeling about the Arsenal lineup, by the way? If you as you see it on the lineup, is this something that is intimidating to you? Is this something that we've got to be mindful of? Is there some player out there on the Arsenal side of it that you think we have to basically, clamp down and really get under control? Um, let's see. Primarily, um, I need big performances out of. I really want to see Maka get a performance today. That's the guy that I have as being a real difference maker in this game for me today is McAllister. Um, Lee Wiska saying we had seasons under Klopp where we only have top four to aim for, and we failed to achieve that on occasion. But because it's Slot saying he's damned for it. He can't win. Okay, I get what you're going. I get where you're going with it. I don't know if I would put the circumstances under the same pretenses for Klopp and Slot for the reasons why top four was was the goal at least, and why, even that year when we got when we made fifth and we ended up going to Europa, even why that was still a circumstance that was slightly different. There hadn't been a $500 million spend before the year that preceded that. We hadn't also, um, you know, that is something of a difference maker in why I think people are putting a little bit more context and focus on some of the words that our coach is saying. Um, okay, I got you. He says he's not sticking up for him. He thinks it's too far down the road now. Nobody, um, and I that agree too. It's not easy. Nobody had. I don't know. I mean, Lee Wizkid. I don't know about that, man. I don't know. If you do know, that was a year when one of our players' parents and eventually his father were kidnapped. That was a year that we also had Ali lose his father tragically in that year, and we still prevailed or persevered to actually um, get a berth into Europe. So there was a lot going on those years as well. So, not to diminish the importance of it at all. Yeah, he lost. That was a year he lost his dad. Ali lost his father in that year where he scored the goal. That goal, a goal that actually propelled us into Europe. Um, yeah, a lot. There's a lot to fight for, and that team didn't give up fighting the entire year. That was a tremendous effort, I think, and that's what I want to see from this team. That's all we're asking for is some heart and some pride, and to really put your just put your initiative behind what the words you're speaking on camera are. Because we've heard a lot of players, say the PR press type stuff. But you gotta back up actions with back up words of actions. So yeah, we're seeing all that hopefully unfold. Um, we are looking at the lineups, like I said. Does this lineup change your predictions for the scores, by the way? Um, does it change your predictions for the final score? Does it change your predictions of who you have scoring for us, whether it's who you have starting the party, hopefully for us, not for them, hopefully for us, because our record is better when we score first as opposed to when our opposition scores first. Um, Agreed on that, Lee Wiskid. I'm hoping we can see a performance like we did against Real Madrid. I'll admit that performance was at home. We had the support of the home crowd and everything else, so that made it a little bit easier. I don't want to see a performance. To be honest, I just don't want to see a performance like we did at the Etihad. Um, I don't want to see that kind of performance. I want to see heart. I want to see togetherness on the pitch. I want to see some real fluid movement with the ball. I want to see players making runs, being committed to actually pursuing some risk, not risk management, some actual risk of pushing the narrative for ourselves, trying to get some through balls or some diagonals that maybe connect to create some openings and create some opportunities for us. That's important. That's things that I want to see in this game. Um, so yeah, if you do have a change to your score or to who you have scoring, do tell me what you guys are thinking, and that is, who you think is going to be the party starter. Who you think, if you think it's going to be them, you can say it's going to be them starting the party. It wouldn't be. That's not a real. It's not a party. It's more of a. It's like a. I don't even know what you would call it. It's not a party though if they score first. Um, but I wanted to get quickly before we even get back into those conversations about the game. There was some talk about January moves. Um, Liverpool, um, Liverpool wanted Marc Guehi last summer. Obviously, we had we were so close to getting him. He was already getting the medical. Apparently, he was. There's pictures of him in a Liverpool kit, and then all of a sudden, Glasner made a stink about it. Apparently, that's at least what's being reported or was reported. He made a stink about it. It changed the opinions of the Crystal Palace owners in allowing for the move to go through, and he stayed with them. Um, but now City have or are about to join the race as well for Guehi. Um, they are proposing a 30 million pound January deal. Pep has stepped in and said, and is saying, basically, if Liverpool aren't going to pay the cash now, maybe it is going to be City that does so, especially now that Gvardiol is injured and the injuries that they're seeing on their team and their back line. But City saw a weakness and have attacked it. Liverpool saw, I guess you could say, Liverpool is seeing a future in the summer window and trying to hold off in investing in it. And while City chase Guehi for now, Liverpool have reinforced their center half prospects or upcoming talent by bringing in Noah Adekoya. He's a 19-year-old. I know that Talanadea and finally Nadukwe, all young talents. This is not a title chasing window any longer. This is now become, for what we're seeing, a foundation laying window. And what's interesting about this is that yesterday I was commenting or reporting, however you want to look at it. I was referencing reports that Liverpool or FSG and the hierarchy were having issues with Slot and his reluctance to utilize Rio, one of our best and most promising talents on our team. Some could say Neoni too, by the way. It's just a matter of preference, I think, out there. But I think that what you're seeing a lot of now is Liverpool trying to re-solidify their youth academy, re-solidify, because they've let a lot of talent go. They've definitely cashed in on a lot of talent. And a lot of what I'm hoping is true. And I saw this thing because it was a night and day take from this coach doesn't want to play Rio to now there's being reports out there that Arne Slot's all about trying to take young talent and allow for them to develop. He's all about developing young talent, is what is being said out there in some of these reports. And you could honestly say, he's made a point about saying how Rio's played. He's had the most minutes of any 17-year-old in the Premier League. That's not saying much, but I mean, I just think it's got to be the right minutes. It's got to be the right minutes. And those have to be the type of steps that we actually make, for this team. There are some very talented players. Like I say, Adekoya is only 19 years old. And Daye is only 18 years old. And Dukwe is only 17 years old. We're talking about three players all under 20 years old. It's it's something. It's promising to see that we're investing in the youth, and we're giving time for them to evolve and develop into the players that we foresee. I don't know if some of you classify them as wonder kids or not. That's for your eyes or your interpretations. But um, it is something interesting that we have building with the young talent that we're bringing in, and I think that it is something that is certainly noticeable when you recognize the fact that Manchester City are trying to really, really turn up the heat to figure out if we are going to go for Guehi, if we're going to really make an honest move. I don't want to see us get into a bidding war with City. We all know that City's uh, bookkeeping can sometimes be one of their um, one of their advantages in getting some of these players across the line. We've seen a lot of that happen, whether it's the investment that's in the club, the alleged investment that's in the club, or even the incredibly high salaries that they pay some of the players, um, whether it's allegedly off the books or on the books. That'll hopefully be eventually vindicated. We're still waiting on those 130 allegations that have been apparently. I thought they had been already. I thought the court case is done and is dusted already, and we're still waiting just for a sniff of what's happening. That's why, if anything, I'll say this right now. I think that it's a stain on the Premier League. I think it's a stain on football in general that this process has not been a transparent process. We're talking about institutions in a country, talk about institutions in football that if you're going to do so, I think that the public that actually empowers these institutions, that funds these institutions, that gives their heart, their soul, their money, you know, um, into the resources of these institutions. I think you should have a transparent account, whereas in allowing the public to be a part of the process of understanding what is happening with those institutions. And I think that is unfortunately a higher powers that be type situation going on with that case. But back to the case at hand, and that is this right here. This right here. Shout out to KJ, by the way. And shout out to Lone Sheep joining us. Hi, Laura joining us as well. Big up to all of you joining us. Um, whether you're watching on X or whether you're watching on YouTube, appreciate it. Definitely appreciate the love. Um, KJ says, blame the Premier League for leaving all of those loopholes for clubs for exploitation. I agree. That is something that was noticeable. I think it's also noticeable that I guess you could hold. There's certainly there's things you could go about that aren't necessarily above board. They might be legal, but they're not above board, really. And you could either try to take the better road and just do it the right way, or you could look for those loopholes. You can look for those things that separate the club, that give you those little bit advantages in whatever it is. It's a shame, but this is something. What is the importance of this game to you out there? Is this a game? Is this game something that you see as maybe as a game that could define Liverpool turning the corner? Is this type of game a is this game a title decider? Not necessarily for us, but for whether the other clubs that are fighting for this title actually have an opportunity to gain some ground on the front runners. What is it for you? I see it for Lone Sheep, it's a free hit. For Lee Wizkid, it's about pride. I think it's about pride as well for Lone Sheep. Okay. Um, what is this game? What is the significance of this game for you? Is it about maybe showing? Is it about are the players fully committed to Arne Slot and his and the vision and what he's doing with the team? Are they fully committed? Are they bought in? All bought into the project, you know? KJ says it's about who we are. Okay. We win, it's about who we are. It's not about Slot. Okay. Okay. Is it I hope that they look at it that way. I hope that they're looking at it as they're doing it for the club, they're doing it for themselves, they're doing it for the fans, they're doing it for the collective of what is known as the Red Nation. That's what I would hope that they are doing. Red Armchair Supporter says they've been paid enough to buy into anything. Yes, their salaries certainly have a factor in it. I agree. I agree completely. Tyler saying this match is about 3 points as always, but as with every match, there's a bunch of psychology behind it. What you invest is what you gain, and any result would be a statement. KJ says he's confident. I hope they don't kill my vibe. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. I would say the hip hop line, but excuse me, I would say the hip hop line, but I'm right there with you. Um don't kill my vibe. Please don't kill my vibe. Um I generally believe for ages we'll beat them. The time has come now, so show KJ and myself that we believe what we believe is a reality. Lee says he thinks they owe the traveling cop a win. That I agree. They do owe a performance out of the traveling cop that follows the team, the traveling supporters. They gave one in Italy. Now let's give one domestically in London. Um, let's see. Do it for Norm. There you go. Do it for Norm, who most undoubtedly is there at the game. I'm certain that I know he travels with the team. He goes to the home games, travels with the team, but he's certainly at this one as it is such a large event, large statement game. What for you? Would you want to see us hypothetically? This is the hypothetical. Tell me in the chat. Do you want to see Arne Slot go for the win? Or if the case were happening and it's, I don't know, 75th minute, it's 1-1, and um and we have a choice to make. Now we all know we all said what's on the bench. Take out the two goalkeepers. We have 7 players on the bench to choose from. We have Gomez, we have Chiesa, we have Jones, we have Rabo, we have Neoni, Ramsey, and Rio. It's 1-1. It's the 75th minute. Do you want Arne Slot to go for the win? Or do you want him to just hold firm and get a result? What would you what would be your feelings? And also, what would be your reaction if we come up short? What would be your reaction to this coach if we came up short? For instance, if you were to see the coach go out there and he throws Rio on, I don't know, he throws Rio, he throws Chiesa on, he puts Jones in there, he goes all offense. He put even Leone in there if you want. It goes all offense. He takes all the offensive weapons we have on the bench and shuffles the deck trying to get a result. But we come up short. Would that be a disappointment to you, or would you be just proud the fact that we at least went for the win as opposed to trying to settle for the draw? Tell me what you feel. Tell me what you would feel. And that's a scenario I'm just envisioning. I'm not saying, that's a certainty, but I'm just asking because I'd like to know what it is. Like, I saw Lee Wiskid saying how, um, and this isn't what Lee's made statement saying he's not defending the coach. He's just trying to make a statement. And he was saying how, this coach, no matter what happens, he can't win. He's damned if he does and he's damned if he doesn't type situation. For you, what would it be? What would that be? Red Armchair Supporter says champions should never settle for a draw. Right? KJ says, I'll take a draw minimum, but I am not taking a loss. Not taking a loss. Okay. If we're in front, stay in front. Playing as if we have already won has done us no favors so far. KJ wants all 3 points. I agree with that completely. I would love to see a return to the Jota, the Bobby days when we would go to Emirates and it would almost be like a home match. It would almost be like Anfield South for us at the Emirates in the beat downs that we would give to Arsenal. I would love to see that. But I know that they are a much more composed and better team that we are facing. So the likelihood of that is not as high. Hyler says, what's the excuse ever for Slot to not go for a win? Lack of investment, scared of the opponent? No, Slot should go for a win always and not put 9 players in the box like against Fulham. Pathetic. I understand what you're saying by that. That was us trying to play for a draw or play for trying to, play cautious and play conservative rather than just play our game, play our natural game. I agree with that completely. KJ's going to be fuming either way if we lose. Okay. What does Philip have to say? If we do happen to get a goal early, then we have to go for the throat. That's the only way to win. Thank you, Philip. Right there with you on that one. I think this coach sometimes plays way too conservative with the approach that he puts, the mindset that he keeps with the team. We score a goal, let's score 2, let's score 3, let's score 4. Let's just keep going. Keep going. Keep the party going. Don't try to put on some cool jazz, in the middle of the party. Keep the prodigy going, keep the I don't know, keep the bada bang it's going, the buju bantan going or something. I don't know. Let's see. That's his DNA, Lone Sheep says. I'm hoping that his DNA can go through some we can shoot him with some gamma rays and we can see Hulk. Let's see some Hulk DNA be pushed out from that. Would be the most intense thing to do. But yeah, we definitely need to see something happen today because what this is wild, and this is something that I saw as being pretty interesting to see, and that is I saw a post. Now, I don't know if you believe this or not. This is alleged. This is you can only go so far with some of the posts you see on X or Twitter, whatever you reference it as. And there was a post that said that Arne Slot has been told that this is a win or sack game. He has been told that was at least what was in the actual, I don't know, in the actual post. You could take it for what it is, but there was something being said, or something to the extent that he has to win this game, or he will find himself packing up his belongings from the office. I don't know if I am not necessarily on board with it, but I am certainly not thinking that that's going to be the case for that for us, whether we win or lose. I'll tell you what we are winning, and that is the presence of JK in the house. Big up.
Bless, bro. Hope you're cool.
Yeah. Getting prepped and ready to make this move to the Crown Public House downtown in Phoenix. If you're wanting to, if you're in the area, definitely come shout us out. You can tell them that I sent you, and I'm certain they'll try to make the accommodations that much more suitable for you. But yeah, what are you feeling? You saw the lineup. How are you feeling about it?
First of all, big up Lee Wizkid, Red Armchair, KJ. Hope you're all cool, bros. Hope you're enjoying the snow. It's snowing big time here, bro.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Just all of a sudden, bang, just snowing like mental. Look, bro, I've been looking forward to this game all day. It's Arsenal top of the league, and what's better than beating the top of the league? You know what I mean? Lineup wise, look, bro, we got Chiesa on the bench, and that's it. The rest of Joe Gomez, Andy Robertson, the only Rio and Chiesa. Let's go Rio and Chiesa on the bench. And bless up Pelio in the chat as well. But all in all, bro, yeah, look, we're Liverpool. Ekatike, I had a funny feeling he won't be ready. Works is there. Gapco starting as a 9 again. I hope Gapco stays central. That's the main thing. If he's going to play up top, number 9, whatever, just stay central. We're trying to get you the ball like we did against Fulham. So,
yeah, there's I was just speaking on the again, it's only there's no there's a real accreditation of an accredited journalist behind any of the actual accusations, I guess you could say. But yeah, it was a case saying that Liverpool are considering sacking Arne Slot by the end of the week should he lose to Arsenal today. Potential replacements are already being assessed with a decision expected soon. I just don't believe that is being really accurate, to be honest with you. I don't think that's actually happening. I think no matter the result today, Arne Slot will be in control of the lineups selections going forward, at least till the end of the year. I think so. Yeah, are you changing up your score predictions or anything like that, or JK?
I'd take 2-0 right
Still
now.
2-0?
Yeah. I'm not giving them a goal.
Who do you have? Who's your party starter, and who's your party starter, and who is getting it? Who is sealing the deal for us?
I said yesterday McAllister works, so I'm going to stick with them.
Okay, McAllister gets the opener.
Yeah, I think he will.
Okay. You got that's. I'm with you on that. I don't have Vert scoring. I have Rio scoring the second.
I remember you saying that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if Rio gets a call up in this game, but I mean, like, it would be fantastic to see him do so. in a game where we're not chasing, where he can be a little bit more casual, he can be a little bit more aggressive with his takes, and maybe not to goal for us. Either that, or I have Cody, or who else do I have? I think it's Cody or Dom. Cody or Dom should score, because they're the other two players that are chasing history today. It would be for Dom. It would be the first player since Sadio Mane to score in 3 straight games against Arsenal. And for, it's not necessarily history, but for Cody, it would be the fourth London team he has scored on in this campaign. He would be the London Punisher, I guess, or something. I don't know what it. There's other things we could say, but it might be too graphic for us to bear. Let's go on and say, giving up the lineup. Liverpool don't deal in ultimatums. When you read those, you always know it's a fraud in statements. Even if he's been told that, it won't be public knowledge. That's just a Twitter guess. Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of this will be down to their mindset. They were scared of us at Anfield, but I doubt they will be tonight. Okay. And it's okay, by the way, Lone Sheep. Some of us are definitely not necessarily the biggest fans of Arne Slot, but whether you like him or you hate him, you got to support him. That's how I see it. I support him all the same. I'm not rooting for his. I'm not saying you are. I'm not saying Lone Sheep is at all. I'm just saying in general. I would never put it out there to root for for the demise of a coach, just to get him sacked, because that means that we have to suffer, as Reds, and that's something I'm not willing to do. So yeah. 2-0. This title defense has been on absolute crap
It's been
show.
bad.
Yeah, it's been bad.
It's been bad since we won the league, bro. I've seen some games around that time and that. Just in general, bro, we're either good or we're either bad. It's one of the two. Recently, we're getting draws, so we're a bit of both. But we didn't have a draw until ages this season, so we're either good or bad, and that's what we've been. That's inconsistency there. It's been better recently in that way. We're not losing, but all in all, there's 8 points we could have got in the last month or so with the games we've had. I don't want to mention the teams again. But all in all, I was Slot. I never want a Liverpool manager to be sacked. That means the club's not doing well. It's as simple as that. When there's rumours or murmurs that Slot's going to get sacked, all it does is bring bad energy and an image to the club. Realistically, we want Slot to be successful. Why? He's Liverpool manager. He brought us success last season. I'm not his biggest fan, I'll tell you the truth. I'm not a big fan of his football, the energy, in what gears we're playing in football as well with him. So I'm not a big fan of Arne Slot in the way he's trying to play football. But still, I just wish one day he just sort of clicks in his head, you know what, we're playing too slow, we're playing too many side to side, we need to put our foot down a bit. And if it ain't going to happen, if it hasn't happened already, bro, it ain't going to happen. So that's the bad thing about it.
Someone was asking, Bonkers has this 1-0 scrappy win. Okay. Bonkers, who do you have scoring, by the way?
Oh, bless him, Bonkers.
Tyler had a question. He says, why does McAllister start today? That's a big surprise for him. Curtis Jones has almost been our best midfielder lately, and McAllister has been our worst, in his opinion. So why this setup? I'll bring up the setup for you as well. Again, what do you have? Do you have an answer for him, JK?
Can you repeat that, bro?
He asked, why is McAllister
Yeah.
getting the start today? He thinks that Curtis Jones has been one of our best, or if not the best midfielder for us this season, and McAllister, in his opinion, has been the worst. Why is McAllister getting another nod to start? I have a simple answer for it myself, but I'll allow
Go
for you to
on.
go first. Oh, you want me to go first? Okay.
Yeah, go on.
All right. What does this midfield look like? This midfield of Grav, McAllister, and Dom, especially at the 10, looks like what brought us success last season. It's something that he's relied on, and it's been tried and tested for this coach, and something that he believes in. So him going back to form, despite the form of the team or the midfield, is not surprising. It's something this coach does consistently. We've seen him get results. We've seen, just as Hyler was saying, if you get a result we're getting some real results or some performances out of Cujo. And what's this coach do? McAllister right back in.
Yeah, but for me, McAllister hasn't been great all season, but recently he's just better than what he was. What he's been.
He has
this
been.
Season.
He has been.
You know what I mean? A little bit better. Not great. No. But better. And we haven't lost in that time as well. I need a gritty display from him today. You know that Argentinian midfield display where he's small, but he don't give a damn. You know, one of them sort of getting in the opposition faces, because their midfield is going to be after us. Rice, Zubamendi, Odegaard. Their midfield is pretty good. So we need a McAllister display today of what he does for Argentina in the World Cups and stuff. Gritty, cheeky, cocky. We need a bit of that today. Because otherwise, Arsenal are going to think, yep, these guys are sweet. We'll take these.
I don't want to see any pussyfooting around, I guess, or just like, I don't want to see any of just being, lackadaisical or having any slips of focus on the pitch. I want these guys dialed in, ready to go, understanding what is on the table right now. This is a reckoning. Like, if there's anything you can do, for you to make any bit of ground, not on the title. The title is pretty much done and dusted. I'm not saying that we're in the title race, but what I can say is, if you want to make some claims as to why this year was not a complete wash, maybe say you did a double over the potential, potentially the Premier League title winners. Or maybe you did it, or you were the reason why, you were the game that turned the scales, similar to when we were facing them at Anfield. And I got into this argument a couple of times with a couple of different Arsenal fans. When we ended up, Ibu couldn't score that goal for some, I don't know why he couldn't. He just couldn't figure out what part of his body to be able to nudge that ball over the line. But when we got the draw at Anfield, I kept saying, well, a lot of us know that draws make a difference in results or the bottom line. And I kept emphasizing the fact that game was a title decider in Arsenal's pursuit. That game was when they drew against us, they started on a poor run. They went on a poor run after they got the draw. They maybe exerted too much energy against us or whatever the case was being. But that was just, maybe it was a knock to their psyche or their focus. But whatever it was, it took the wind from their sails. Going to the Emirates, getting a win would do just that, in my opinion. It could bring a real game changer in Arsenal's pursuit of this title. It's why it's so important for us to win this game. It's such an important game for them too. I'm certain they're going to be up for it. They're going to have the support of their crowd behind them. I know it might even get ugly at times with some of the ways that we've seen Arsenal play against us, because we know that Arsenal can be sometimes a little bit of a dirty team. So yeah, I'm not to the lengths of Chelsea. Chelsea's possibly, I think, in my opinion, one of the dirtiest teams in the league, but that's just my opinion. I am going to say though, it's an important matchup. Very important to see us get this win. And I'm hoping we can persevere and get it. I'm definitely hoping we can persevere. Let's see. Also, it could also do nothing next Premier League game we lose or draw. What is that? What is Bonker saying? Something about. I missed the first part of what you're trying to say, Bonkers. My apologies. Or maybe you're just adding to what I'm saying. Mr. Rat 23 says he sees a 0-0 or maybe a 1-1. He doesn't think that we'll get humbled. I hope you are correct in that, Mr. Rat, in the sense of last portion of what you have to say. I don't want to settle for a draw. I asked this question earlier too. JK, are you with me? Whoops.
Yeah, bro.
One second.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm the same as well, Helio. I don't really want to see no walking again today and no cycling, man.
Hopefully you're there. I can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. My phone is connected to my headset apparently. So phone call came in.
That's what happens with StreamYard. With StreamYard, if you're using your phone, it cuts your StreamYard out and goes to the phone.
Yeah. What I was gonna say is, big up Jimmy, by the way. Big up Jimmy. I asked this question earlier, and I wanted to see your response to it, JK.
Yeah.
Let's say it's 0-0. I don't even make it 1-1. Let's just say it's 0-0. And it's the 70th minute. Would you want this coach to bring in a Gomez or maybe a Robbo or something like that to shore up our defense and try to see out a 0-0 draw? Or would you prefer to see our coach go for the win and bring and possibly jeopardize us getting any points? We could end up with a loss that direction. But at least go for the win. What would you?
Yeah, of course, go for the win. It all depends on the energy of the game, really. If we're playing good and we're sort of in control in that second half, 70, 75 minutes, and we're like, you know what, if we took a Rio on now, he might do something. Yeah, why not go for the win, bro?
Okay.
Like if we're winning 1-0, yeah, then do defensive changes.
Okay. Let me see something too as well. Big up Jimmy, like I said earlier. Big up. We're getting close to this game time, by the way. Very, very close. Very close. Let's see. Let me see what it is all about. See, win. Frimpong might be this big surprise for us today. Hopefully, he has the pace and the movement to surprise anyone in an important situation. Could be the game changer. I like that idea. Well, we're an hour in. I've got to start to make my way down to the supporter pub, or I will be late for kickoff. Is there anything that's on your mind that you want to speak on before we rock and roll past this?
Yeah, bro. At the end of the day, football's a game to enjoy, you know. So hopefully, us fans will enjoy the game. That's the main thing. And we're also capable of winning. Isn't like that we can't win. You know, we've got enough players there with quality to win us the game. So as long as we don't walk, as Helio says.
Yeah, no walking today. I don't want to see
no
that.
walking today, man. It's banned. I don't want to see no side to side and no walking.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the 60s again, you know, doing the rock and roll dancing and whatever. Side to side and walking.
Yeah.
One step, two steps.
None of that.
None of that business, man.
None of that business today.
Give them what they're gonna give us. They're gonna be cocky, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're Londoners, they don't give a damn, and they're gonna try to give it large. That's why our players have to. That's why I said about McAllister needs to stand up today. I want to see a bit of grit, bit of Argentinian in him. You know that midfielder who don't care. But come on, man.
Yeah, that's all you can say is let's
no cha-cha.
no cha-cha. No cha-cha.
Yeah, man. No cha-cha, man.
We will be back after the game with a post-match reaction. Certainly, we're going to bring back. Hopefully, JK will be here, or we'll have maybe some others. We'll reach out to see if Nolante or Lee or any of the OGs are available. Maybe even Cheyenne or Cian will be available too.
Maybe Arne Slot.
Maybe Arne Slot. Who knows?
You know what I mean?
Who knows? Yeah, who knows? But all right, people, we are going to wrap up here. No matter what happens tonight, this match is certainly going to be a determination of will and grit and pride, all those things wrapped up together. It'll show what Liverpool are really all about. Hopefully they understand that is what we're dealing with. It shows Arsenal what they're trying to protect. It shows all of us what kind of season this really is supposed to be, or what we can salvage out of this season, basically, from this team, and what we can expect is going to be the kind of participation and contributions we'll see on the pitch from us. Let's get these 3 points, as KJ said. I'm agreeing with that completely. This is not. Let's not have a coronation on our. We're going to have a coronation on our watch. Let's not do that. Not a collapse either. This has to be a crossroads for us. We have to make this the moment that we say we're going to have a semblance of bringing this team closer together, better assume to have fluid motions, to have real semblance of what a champion is supposed to look like, and push forward. There's still things to play for this season, but it takes us being together, not only as a team on the pitch, but as fan base off it. So big up to each and every one of you. Thanks for joining us on this Reds Roll Call. We'll see you on the other side for sure. But as always, up the Reds, my people, up the Reds. Go ahead, JK. You want to say something?
Yes, sorted, bro. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Nice being here, bros. Enjoy the game, lad.
Definitely. We'll see you soon on the other side, hopefully with a W. Hopefully we get this W. All right.
We'll get it.
All right. That's not Wu-Tang. That's W for you. All right. There you go. But all right. All right. We'll see you soon.